Welcome back. When you go to get your insurance renewed at your local insurance dealer, do you always sign up and just say, I'll get what I got last year? That's what a lot of us do. I'm a victim of it. But the devil is in the details, and that's why we have Merv Saden joining us today. He's a personal injury law expert with Fulton and Company. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. Now, this is a topic that you have discussed around town at different events. Is that right?
I have. I've spoken to a number of different places in town just to educate people about the importance of liability insurance on their vehicles. It's really pretty basic, but people don't seem to understand it. They're not told what it's about, so I've kind of made it a bit of a mission to let a lot of people know about it.
Okay, so for me, what I recognize is that usually it's either $1 million or $2 million liability insurance. You can pay a little bit more for the $2 million, but in talking with you, I've learned that you can go right up to $5 million.
Well, you can go up to $5 million pretty easy, and then you can buy umbrella policies above that. I think what I've learned through my career is that people really don't know what liability insurance is, why I need it, why it's important. So that's what I've been trying to explain to people.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about when you need that liability insurance.
So what I've learned is the usual experience is people get the letter in the mail and got to go renew their car insurance, and they go down to see their agent, and they typically renew what they had last year, and there's not a lot of discussion about, well, what do I have and what am I spending money on? So I want people to know, and to empower them to know what it is that I'm buying and why it's important. And so typically you buy three things. You buy collision insurance, you buy comprehensive insurance, and you buy third-party liability insurance. And I think most people know that collision insurance and comprehensive insurance is just insurance you're buying on the asset, the car itself. So if it's a $10,000 vehicle, you've got collision insurance, you cause an accident, you wreck your car by going off the road, hit a tree, your asset is insured. It's a $10,000 asset. Mm-hmm. There's not much thought or discussion about the third-party liability insurance and what it's for, and it's really the significant piece of what you're buying.
And how do you determine then how much you really should be getting? Because you would say get tons.
Right. So what third-party liability insurance is this, and we have to understand how our system of compensation flows in the context of motor vehicle accidents. If you're driving your vehicle, or you have someone that you allow to drive your vehicle, you give consent to your son or someone, and they cause an accident, our system is fault-based. So the claim is against that driver and that owner. And so you're responsible for whatever loss flows from that. So if you cause a serious accident, you injure a number of people as a result of that, and you cause damage to vehicles, all that loss is caused by you. So the claim is against the individual. If there was no insurance, you'd have to pay for that yourself. Mm-hmm. So we have to insure against that risk. So when we buy third-party liability insurance, I tell people to think about two things. One, we're responsible for the loss, so let's protect our assets, because if we didn't have insurance, our house would be at risk, any property that we own, any money we have at the bank. So we want to protect our assets by having sufficient insurance. The second reason we buy third-party liability insurance is if we cause loss, we feel responsible for it. We are responsible for it, and we should make sure that we have money available through an insurance policy to take care of those individuals that we've injured. Mm-hmm. So those are the two reasons you buy it. How much is enough? There's a lot of policies that I see come across my desk, because I act for injured individuals that bring claims against people, and they might only have $1 million worth of insurance. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty ugly situation when the claim is worth $2 million. There's only $1 million worth of insurance. My client is feeling like they're not going to be compensated completely, and then the person that caused the accident is very worried that they're going to lose their assets. So you can protect against that by buying sufficient third-party liability insurance, and I recommend at least $5 million.
So somebody hears that and thinks, wow, $5 million, that's so much. That's going to cost a lot of money for me to insure for that, but not necessarily.
That's exactly right. I think what happens is people get their insurance renewal in the mail, and it might be $1,500, and they say, I've got $1 million or I've got $2 million worth of insurance. So they don't ask, what would it cost extra to go to 3 or 4 or 5? So I actually stopped at my agent yesterday, and I carry $5 million in my vehicle. It's an SUV. And I said, what would be the difference in an annual premium between $2 million and $5 million? And it's $80. So for that extra $80, you can have $5 million of insurance available to protect your assets. I think we're all working towards that day when we get to retire and we've stuck some money away for our nest egg. Mm-hmm. if you're driving with insufficient insurance and you cause this accident, or you allow your child or someone to drive your vehicle and they cause an accident you're responsible for, all of those assets are at risk. If you buy the sufficient insurance, at least you're comforted to know that there's at least $5 million that's available there before your assets become exposed.
Which is like an extra $7 a month, which that really boils down to not a lot for a
Right.
huge peace of mind. We're already out of time. Can you stand it? See how quickly that went?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. It's something to think about. A lot of us just go in, renew. We don't ask questions. We don't really know what we have, but it's something to stop and think about. So thank you for being here for that today.
Thanks a lot for having me.
You're very welcome. If you would like more information about this, you can contact Merv at fultonco.com as well. The phone number is on the screen at 372-5542. We're back in 2 minutes. Stay with us.